Okay, so I cut those. I've got the straight edge over there. Okay, so now when I measure this, and I've also checked the factory edge of the white plastic is all on the left-hand side. The cut side is up there. So the cut side's not perfectly straight. So I'm gonna measure from that side when I get ready for that. Okay, and so I have to measure this. So now I can hold my tape measure right in the middle. Okay, because I know my white plastic's going to go over to theirs, and then I'm going to hold it into here. So I got 17 3/4, 34 5/8. 17 3/4, 34 5/8. Now I go down here. 17 3/4. And I'm trying to go into the center. 17 3/4 and 34 5/8, right? Hold there, 34 5/8. It's right there. Okay. Now I have those two marks for those. See, I have to measure every single one. And now, instead of measuring just to the bottom of that, I've got to add. Oh, good. I've got to add a 1/4 inch or so for the plastic, because remember I cut the insulation a 1/2 inch more. So if I hold that right there, I got 9 1/8, and if I hold it down at 1/4, I got 9 3/8. You see what I'm doing? 9 3/8 down there to the center on that one. And then over here, I got basically the same. 9 3/8. I'm holding it about 1/4 inch lower than this metal. 9 3/8, okay? And so now I can measure off this factory edge here. 9 3/8. And that's the center. That's where that thing is coming out. 9 3/8. And you know, that's going to be close enough, right? 9 3/8. And at that point, I can take my sheetrock knife and just make a cut in there. I can just cut it one way, or I can cut an X in it. Just a small T, let's say. Okay. Like that. There. Okay. That's where those two should be coming out. Okay, so now I can take I just take a screwdriver, hold it in there, kind of pull that around a little bit. Like that. Okay. And I can get my finger and kind of separate the insulation on the back side right there. Okay. So I know it's gonna get and go up through there, okay? All right. Let's before I do anything else, let's see, now I can put that up there and know it's going to be coming out at the right area because I've got an overlap over here and everything else. So I'm gonna get it through there like that. Hold my mouth just right, make sure that these are going to go through, right? Okay. And you know what I'm going to need before I do anything? See, if I let go, it's probably going to fall out of there. It's probably not going to hold up there all the way until I get my little clips, my hooks on there. Well, it might, let's just see. So I got that is going to fit down in there. See, it's all wanting to fall, right? So I need to get my clips. I wasn't really prepared for this first piece, was I? Look. Okay, that's okay. Hang with me. Get my pieces, my little plastic deals. And we'll put those in there. And I don't have to put them on and clip them on all the way just yet. I don't think it's really going to hurt if I do though, huh? Now, this thing should clip in all the way. And, okay, I guess, okay. I thought it was going to go on further, but it's on all the way because that's how thick the insulation is. You see? As it pooches up out of there. That's why when I get it to this point, well, I can get some of this in. This is why you have to cut the insulation a little bit long to get it to fit up in there. Now, see, it would fit actually a lot better if this was not a previous insulated door. You see what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't an insulated door at all, all of this would fit into this thickness. Right now, this thickness is only about an inch. That's because this is an insulated type material that's on here. It's probably an inch now, or an inch and an eighth, inch and a quarter thick. And then this would fit down in here better. You see what I mean? But hey, it's already insulated. And so, see, if I would have just cut it to there, all of this would have stuck out, see? So when I get it up to like this, I'm gonna have a little bit, I'm gonna have a little trimming to do here, but then see, I can have this plastic come over like that. See? On here, tape that down, the next piece will be taped down. I'll have to trim this with my scissors and all that kind of stuff. And then it's just gonna be poochy. But hey, that's okay. These two are pushed in all the way. This is not gonna fall out. That's why I wanted to extend the plastic over on this side so I could tape it on both sides. If I didn't do that, this would all be poochy and it would just leave it and it would look tacky. And they didn't give me enough of these for everything else because this is designed to be the same thickness as this. So when you push this all in, you wouldn't see any of this insulation sticking out. And it would almost be flush with this, and then basically you could take some white duct tape and you could put it over that, you know, that way too. And you know, I could I have done that? Yeah, I guess I could have left the trim, this plastic short, but see, this way I can pull it tight, and then I can have Mommy help me tape this. I'll pull it tight like that and say, okay, tape it right there. You see what I mean? And then this is going to all be nice and it will be tapered down like that. It'll look good when I get all done. Now see how this is poochy? But after I trim this with the scissors and then pull this, after I get that side taped, then I can pull this and then tape this down over here. See? And I'm hoping I don't have to tape this. I don't really want to tape this. It's not going to really look very nice. It's going to be hard to get the tape on there and all that. But I've got enough up in there and down here, so when I tape the sides, I'm hoping that just the friction is going to hold it. That's why you have to cut these tight and measure 1/2 inch. This one I got just a little bit more than 1/2 inch. You see what I mean? And so that's how it's going to look when they get up. And okay, so I'm gonna measure these other 3, just like this one, measuring across from here like I did, boom, 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 and then I'll clip those in. And next time I see you, I'll have these next 3 panels in. Okay, I'm not ready to trim this yet or anything like that. I'll be careful trimming this with scissors. I'll get my scissors out and trim it right in here, and then I can fold this back in there and push that in, and then when I pull that tight, it'll look nice. It'll look nice when we get done, trust me. Okay, so now you're starting to see how it's gonna look. And on yours, it could look a little bit different, especially if you don't have an insulated garage door. If you do have an insulated garage door, I would recommend you doing it the same way I'm doing this, by cutting and allowing your plastic to stick over so you can tape it here nice and straight. Get somebody to help you too. Don't think, yeah, I can do that, and then you get it all you get it all crinkled and stuff, and it doesn't look nice. This is the part that I want to make look nice and straight and even down here, even as well as over on the ends. Hey, if you're gonna do a job, you might as well do it right. It doesn't take much longer to do it right than wrong, okay? Remember that. I don't believe what I just did. Remember I told you to measure all of the panels? I thought all the panels were the same. I looked at it real close, but I wasn't paying attention, because when I was trying to fit this one in down there, it was short, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Look at this one here. This bottom one is 21 inches, and all the other ones were 18. The bottom one's 21 inches. Good grief. And now I've already cut all my pieces. I've even poked holes in this one, because what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get a rip piece, and I'm gonna tape it on there. I'm gonna overlap the plastic a little bit and tape it, but then I want the tape piece down at the bottom, not at the top. Okay, so these holes right here might show. I might have to get that little piece of tape and put there, unless I can take those two off and move them up to line up for this, because I've got to fit this one in. Oh man. Hey, did I do that for your benefit? You'll just have to figure that one out on your own. But that's just amazing. I never would have dreamt that the bottom was different. I thought all of them were going to be the same size. And Momi was saying, hey, how come you're not doing the top? And I said, it only comes with 8 panels. And I thought, well, should I take this piece here, cut out for the windows, put it around the edge, and then tape it around the edge, and have just a little bit of insulation all the way around? I don't really want to do that, because then I can't just go to the store and get 2 pieces like this with the white on there. I'd have to buy a whole other one like that. I have no idea how much those cost. Momi bought it. And so I'm gonna fix this one and make it work. And of course, I cut these other ones, so I've got to fix 2 pieces. But after I fix them, it's almost going to look like you didn't even know it had been fixed. Okay, after I get through with it. Okay, all right. So hey, just don't do what I just did. All right. So when I find the piece, when I tape those 2 pieces together, I want to make sure that I use the factory edge facing down, not facing up, right? And I may have to trim off some of the insulation. I've got to do some really good measuring on there. Take my time, get it done right. Well, you can hardly tell, can you? See there, I had just enough, and I used my clear tape. I cut the back side off. I put tape under there, and I ran the tape down at the bottom. And so you only got about 3 inches up, and then you got a row of tape. You can't even really see it, can you? That's why I wanted to flip it around, or I wanted to raise this up and use it up, and then I pushed the plastic up, and then this top plastic here I layered over it, taped it so I didn't have to see that edge. You see what I mean? And so I've got a little bit more work to do, and I was able to take those and lift them up with the same holes, and I'll do that over here too. I haven't poked the holes in that yet, but I want those up a little bit higher because it should be about in the middle anyways. Plus they'll match these. Okay, so I'm gonna mimic that over there. I was able to take a sharp putty knife and kind of and then pop those off and raise them up. So I should do that next so that those can stick nice and firm. Remember I have 2 extra pieces of tape. Well, I didn't want to use them. I could have ripped those 2 off and used 2 new pieces. I had 2 pieces of tape left. Remember, right there. I could have ripped those off and then cut those in half. Let's say, if I wanted to. But I just put those on. When I took them off, they're still plenty sticky. So I'm going to raise them up, mimic the same thing I did over there. Okay, so that kind of stressed me out there for a second, but hey, I did it, and I did the crinkly edge of that little strip down at that end. I still have to trim that, and once I tape everything, before I tape the sides, I'm gonna raise up, make sure that I'm split the difference from the grooves, from the top groove to the bottom groove, from the top groove to the bottom groove, and before I do this over here, and then later on down the road, if this ever sags, it's not going to sag very much, but if it ever does, I can just kind of go up like that and push this back up there. I've decided not to put any tape there, and later on, if I wanted to, I could push this back up. I wouldn't use clear tape. I'd use the white. They got white duct tape, or they have white HVAC tape. It's kind of like duct tape. It's a little bit different. You peel off the back side. I could use that kind of stuff too if I wanted. But then it's not the very same color, and it might have lines on it or something. This looks so much better, doesn't it? Without any tape. And so we'll see how that works. And see, it's supposed to taper like that because it's that same thickness all the way through, and I had to taper this up into there because this little bit is only an inch. It's not 2 1/4 inches because of the insulated door already. Do you have to put, hey Joe, do you have to put this insulation on here if your garage door is already insulated? Well, no. You don't have to, but Momi wanted me to do it, and it's giving us an extra R factor. R8 is what this is, because it's 2 1/4 inches thick. R8, and whatever value this is, you add it by 8, and hopefully it'll keep the garage a little bit warmer in the winter. Okay. Looks like it's time to get busy again. Hey, stick with me, because I've still got a few more things to show you, and I want to show you the end product. Once I get these up, I'll show you this next piece where I have to rip it. It's going to look just like this other one. Yeah, that looks really good. I don't even know if I'm going to tell Momi about it. She doesn't need to know about it, does she? That I made an error in my measuring. Okay, enough of that. I'm going to get this on, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute.